Well, joining me now with more, Sean Cudahy, senior aviation reporter at The Point Sky. Sean, great to have you on this morning, joining us from North Carolina. What does Delta's latest earnings reveal about that airline and really the industry at large?
I think it's just a reminder of how much Delta has leaned into premium over the last 10, 15 years. Delta really feeling like this strategy has kind of paid off. The airline continues to add more and more of these high-end seats, and you've just really seen a traveling public over the last couple of years that has flocked to these products, and really other airlines that aren't Delta and United really trying to catch up, adding more of these first-class seats. You've even seen budget airlines trying to get in on this trend. So, I think that Delta just feels like its strategy is really paying off.
Mm-hmm. What will you be watching as other airlines start to report earnings in the coming days and weeks?
Yeah, I think the big question is whether Delta and some of the successes that we saw during the third quarter is going to be a bellwether for the rest of the airline industry. Delta, by its own admission, a lot of its, core covers are household incomes over $100,000. Delta really felt like they saw a rebound in sales and kind of profitability later in the third quarter. Is that going to be a sign for the rest of the airline industry? Are we going to see similar results? I think time will tell here over the next couple of weeks. Delta always kind of kicks off that earnings cycle. Other airlines are more exposed to price-conscious consumers, so I think that's going to be the big question as we go forward here over the course of the month.
We are quickly approaching two of the busiest travel times of the year, Thanksgiving and Christmas. How much demand are you seeing for flights this year compared to years past, and how does the price factor in as well?
Yeah, a couple of points there. So I think with demand, it's been choppy at times. We saw a big summer at airports, despite some of the concerns. We saw airlines, they saw a big drop off kind of, sort of the middle of the spring amid some of the macroeconomic concerns. There were some concerns about, lagging ticket sales. Still, we saw some of the busiest days ever at U.S. airports, and I expect the holidays will be no different. When it comes to prices, so far here at the Point Sky, we are tracking some modest increases in prices compared to last year. There was a lot of flights, a lot of capacity in the marketplace over the summer. And when you have that, a lot of domestic flights, it tends to drive down prices as airlines, kind of compete to try to fill those seats. So a lot of that capacity has come out of the market here in recent weeks, and I think that could potentially fuel some higher fares. We are certainly advising consumers if they are looking to travel for certainly Thanksgiving, but also for Christmas, to go ahead and book that here over the next couple of weeks.
Okay, book early. Good advice there. Anything else travelers should be doing now to prepare, especially as this government shutdown drags on, now entering its third week?
Yeah, I think my best bet at this point, we are certainly seeing some flight delays. You've obviously, if you've turned on the news here in the last couple of days, you've heard about air traffic control shortages. It's a pre-existing problem that we've had for years now. It gets exacerbated when you have the government shutdown, some number of workers staying home. Also, you add bad weather like we're seeing in the Northeast this week. That can contribute to flight delays. So, if you can fly nonstop, I think that's going to be your best bet. And then as far as security checkpoints, we're not seeing major backups at this point. But still, I might just be getting to the airport a little bit earlier than I otherwise would have.
Plan ahead. I like that indeed. Any other advice other than booking earlier for travelers who are looking to save this holiday season?
I think the best thing that you can do is just to be as flexible as possible. If you're locked into that Wednesday night after, 5 p.m. before Thanksgiving, and you have to go to this one city, I think that's when you can really kind of get hosed on price. As you're trying to figure out the best deal. If you can fly on the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, the Monday, maybe even the Sunday before, and similarly for the December holidays, that's a good way to save. And also, if you can fly last minute on the holiday itself, sometimes that can be really uncrowded days, really good on price as well. So obviously it cuts into the holiday celebrations a little bit, but it can help you save.
Sean Cudahy, senior aviation reporter at The Point Sky, joining us after that strong report from Delta last week. Sean, thank you.